To just, we're gonna jump in, and friends, there are 114 spots left, and we want you to have them. We want you to claim that. We want it to be yours. And I'm gonna invite you right now, just for a moment, to take 3 deep breaths. And as you take those 3 deep breaths, just surrendering, seeing everything that has happened in the past, all the journey up until this moment. It's perfect, just what we needed it to be. And see your feet below you in this moment. Visualize the little hill or the bigger mountain ahead and what is needed to create in this next little season. And can you see the way in front of you? Just see that path cleared. See yourself just like letting go of the attachment to it and just shaking off any intensity, right? Any intensity that you could feel in this moment. Just breathing that intensity out, surrendering to this moment and where you are right now in the journey. Seeing the points kind of dissipate, that that's not really what it's about, that this is happening, that you are rolling forward. And just in that total surrender, feel your body let go, feel any emotions that you have around this, let go, so that you can be in surrender and in peace and total acceptance of where you are in this moment. Breathe in an oil, or just take 3 deep breaths with the thought of an oil to anchor that in, create some new neural pathways so you're ready to move forward. So now, just in that space of surrender, then we can move forward, right? Then we can roll. And I am going to intro a couple of power guests that are going to help you be able to see what that looks like to move forward. And from this place of surrender and acceptance, then you can roll. So we're going to start out with Tatiana, and she's going to share some of her top tips for getting across the finish line. You've coached several people through this space already, Tatiana, and it's time to coach these rock stars there as well. So she's going to give her tips, then we're going to flow to Olivia. And the whole time, I want you to just be thinking about, okay, what does this look like for me? Where does this apply? And then we will take specific questions of how would you navigate this or that. We can all navigate that. Tatiana, take it away.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you. So happy that so many of you were able to join. And honestly, I think the opportunity is pretty epic right now. So if we kind of think about where we are right now and where we can be, just from the moment of right now till the end of the August. It's an endless possibility. So I know that a lot of you are worried about the time. And honestly, you guys have a lot of time, okay? There's so many things that could be done within the 3 months and even more, because we have 4 months if we consider May as well. And even within the last days of the month as well, there are so many things if we have a right mindset. So I actually have a hat on me, it says doTERRA US founder, to inspire you to be one, to have a hat just like me through this journey. And before I start giving you tips, I kind of wanted to go into a big question, okay? Why do you think you need to be a founder 2.0? Who is the founder 2.0? And I know that a lot of people think about 1,000 points, right? Oh, to be a founder 2.0, I need 1,000 points in a particular categories and all that kind of stuff, right? I need so many enrollments, I need such and such and such. So, but if we go into a bigger vision of thinking bigger with this, why do you need this? Is it just because of the competition that everybody's chasing? Is it because your friend has it? Is it because you just very competitive and want to get the 1,000 points? So you started it, you see 700 or whatever, 500 on your dashboard, and you're just like, well, I need to do the 1,000 because I used to study at school and I always tried to get the highest score. I used to play sports and I'm so used to getting the highest score. That's not the mindset, okay? The mindset should be is, why do you need to be the founder, and who is the founder 2.0? So a lot of people would say, well, the founder 2.0 is the one that, grow the team, etc., right? That motivates the leaders within the team, etc. And I'm gonna kind of broaden it for you a little bit. I used to work in a big company and we sold to other big companies. And when I sold my product to a big company, I never sold my product. I sold it as a category story, okay? And this is exactly what doTERRA does right now with the Founder 2.0. It's not about you. It's not about your team. It's about a category of essential oils in North America, doTERRA specifically, expanding it to more people, to more homes with your help. Are you ready for this? Do you think you can handle this? Actually, quite a responsible opportunity that doTERRA is given to you to help doTERRA to be bigger in North America, to get doTERRA to more homes in North America, to get doTERRA to more leaders in North America so they can prosper, they can grow, they can shine light to other people. Are you strong enough? Do you feel this in your heart? Can you do this? It's not about you. It's about doTERRA, and they're looking for the people that are brave enough. I have actually essential oil brave that I just applied on myself. That are brave enough to carry this opportunity to play for doTERRA in a big way. Yes, it sounds small right now because we're still growing to a bigger doTERRA goal. We're still building into the 1,000-point mindset. You need to feel it with your heart. So close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and think about, are you ready? Ask yourself, are you ready to grow the company's vision to a lot of homes in North America, to put it to more people as an opportunity to build business, to give it to more people, to try to heal their families and their kids and themselves and their health? Are you ready to do that for doTERRA, with doTERRA? And if you are, then that's the Founder 2.0. That's the Founder 2.0 mindset. And when you get this vision, I mean, I got chilled right now. Like, I am ready. Okay, I can like double founder right now. Let's go. So anyway, if you feel this with your heart, then that energy will carry you through to finish line. Okay, because that's the big vision. doTERRA needs this. doTERRA needs you if you are ready. doTERRA doesn't need you if you just want the 1,000 points. doTERRA needs you. And by the way, Founder 2.0, it's not somebody who just gets the 1,000 points. Founder 2.0 is who's there to stay with doTERRA in a big way, because you're not gonna hold the spot. If you drop, if you decide not to do the business, like it's not given to you forever. If you get the 1,000 points, you get the 1,000 points to qualify, but then you need to keep growing. You need to keep growing your team. You need to keep growing the market. You need to help doTERRA grow. So you're always going to be the founder. That mindset always needs to be with you. So are you ready to continue growing? That's another thing to think about, okay? So when I decided to go for founder, I had quite a challenge. My volume was, as we called, muddy. It was so muddy because I work in multiple markets. So I have Europe, Russia, I have Kazakhstan, I have some Latin America, I have United States. I had like everything, and I was just going for rank. So I put everything in like buckets to qualify for silver and gold. And I was like, I just need the silver paycheck. I just need the gold paycheck. And then I was like, well, I wasn't thinking big. I was just thinking short term. At that moment, I didn't like think about North America growth. I thought about like, whatever, I'm just going to get the points, whatever. And I didn't even think that I can be a founder because I thought it was too difficult to split the volume for me. And my volume in other markets was quite high. So then I was like, I heard about the founder. I started thinking about it more as a category building opportunity, not about just to be the founder, to have the founder, like, I'm a founder, cool, you know, like I didn't want that stuff. I just want to be a part of the doTERRA family, closer to leadership, to be able to be in that circle of people, the people that are super passionate to grow doTERRA. So am I. I'm super passionate to grow doTERRA. So founder for me was like, yeah, I want to build doTERRA together, shine the light to people, heal, etc. And also I want to be in that circle of very talented people who want to do the same thing. This is like magical. I mean, who doesn't want to be in this if you have a passion just like that? People with the same values, just like you, that do literally just like what you want to do. So I decided like, yeah, it's not about the rank for me. I mean, I used to have a great job and I got paid. It's never been about the money for me. It was about this vision of helping, healing, solving, helping people all over, you know, North America. And also hang out with the people, just like Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Now I hang out with you. This is amazing. But I'm just saying, like, you will open up your network. It's a network marketing company. It's not just a network outside of your neighborhood or social media. It's a network within the company. Like, you open up yourself to that network of super builders of doTERRA that can teach you other stuff. So if you feel like that's where you want to be, okay, put that on your vision board. That will motivate you so much more to work harder this summer than just getting the 1,000 points to get the founder hat or a founder trophy, okay? I mean, it's a long-term hangout group of friends. I mean, that's what you're getting basically. So then when you get that right inside of you, then build a strategy, because all of you guys have 500 plus points. You can change the game this summer if you just put your heart on it and hard work. Then be ready to work hard. Have a vision, be ready to work hard. You got to work hard. I mean, there's no way to get it if you don't work hard, okay? And now I'm going to talk a little bit about a concept called extraordinary. I literally just explained it to my child the other day. So he was like doing his homework, and he is accepted to like the special gifted kids program at school. And then they do this like special gifted kids stuff. And so he does it. And so he didn't want to do like one part of it. He's like, you know, I'm tired. This is what he told me. And I said, Nika, you got accepted to a special program that school is giving to you as an extraordinary kid. So you can do just fine in this program, or you can be an extraordinary kid in an extraordinary program. What does this mean? And so I literally said, you can take a word extraordinary and split it into two words, extra and ordinary, okay? 98% of people in the world do just ordinary things. By the way, they sometimes do it just like, that's fine. That's fine. That's how they do it. That's just fine. I get my rank. Oh, it was so hard, you know, whatever. This person didn't reply to me. You know, why not to bother? Like just something basic, like you don't stretch yourself more, okay? Extraordinary doesn't mean that you have to go 10 miles over the person that usually goes 2, okay? You can do 2.2. You can do 2.5. You can do 3, you can do 5, whatever. But you need to always put a little bit extra that 98% people in the world usually do to everything that you do. So say that if you usually enroll, just look at your record. If you usually enroll like 5 people a month, put a goal for yourself. I need to enroll 7. Just put it a harder, extraordinary. Like this is the goal. If you usually talk to 3 leaders a day to motivate them to find out how things are going, just kind of like in that way, checking in, goal 5. If you normally talk to maybe 2 customers and you don't follow up for wellness consultation, wellness overview, if you like don't follow up with some customers because you're afraid normally, you're like, oh, whatever, they didn't text me back, so why to bother? Well, maybe they checked your phone when they were in the bathroom. I mean, basically, and then they forgot about it, okay? Like they forgot to come back to you. Maybe they were at Costco shopping and you texted to them and they literally were like, oh, I need to go back to Tatiana. And then the same thing happened. They came home, the children are watching cartoons, somebody's asking you to cook a dinner. You like completely forgot about Tatiana, right? Like reminding them about me is totally fine. So if you are like, did right to some people, go extra mile to remind them. If you remind them once, remind them twice, whatever. If you put an Instagram story already 3 times about the promo, well, put it 5. You know why? Because by the way, in advertisement, there is such thing as called reach and frequency. So the more frequent people think about it, the more contacts you make, the faster they actually will decide. It's proven. You're not going to bug people. And people who are feeling bugged, they will never buy from you. So like this is kind of the concept of extraordinary, when you can put an extra mile on what you do, just everything that you do. Just think about everything you've done right now. Like Natalie said in the beginning, you guys already have done a lot. So now this summer, do extraordinary things. Do something that you do that will like split you apart from everybody else. Yeah. And I told you it will be hard work. So you got to do some work, okay, to have it done. So that's my second advice. And then the third advice that I want to give is calculate it on a piece of paper. I'm literally going to calculate it for you right now on a piece of paper right here. Just going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to do it on the paper, not an Excel spreadsheet, because I know everybody is not good in it with Excel. So I have faced that issue. So I just do it on a piece of paper because this is the easiest thing. So what you can do right now, right, on a piece of paper, May, June, July, and August, just like that. Okay, you wrote that. And then on the top, say you have, I'm just gonna say, I have 650 points, okay, 650. Then you split it into your personal points. Maybe you have, I don't know, like 450, and then you have, actually, let's do it harder a little bit. So you have 500 and 150 your enrollee points. So this is your own personal, this is your enrollee points. Mark it. Personal, enrollee. Right? So now you know it's not about 1,000 points, by the way. It's about team building as well, which we'll talk about this in a second. So basically, this 150, what does this mean? I don't care about the 500. Like this is 650, so I need 350. Yes, I get it, but I need 150 here. This is the most important critical part. A lot of people hang. It's a team points, right? That we all know. Team points are the hardest. This is what we know because team points is what you build. You're building builders to build the market, to build the category, like have the same vision as you. So basically focus on the team points, because when you focus on the team points, you're going to make your own points anyway, since you're going to hit the, hit all of the ranks as well. I mean, not all the time, still double check that, but most of the time you will. So then basically, then write down exactly what you need to be done. So you can do like leader one, like say it's like whatever, leader one, whatever her name is or his name is. And you just say, okay, like in May, maybe I won't get any extra points for that leader, fine. But if I make that leader a silver in June, that would be 25 points that I'm going to get for this person, right? So then leader 2, the same thing. Leader 3, the same thing. And then you literally then calculate all of it in a summary and see what you're going to get. Then put enrollments as the next category. Enrollments. How many enrollments do you need to happen? So say if you do 10 enrollments every month. Okay, I'm gonna go big stretch. And LRPs, if you're gonna get 5 LRPs every month. Okay, here we go. This is already 60 points, just right here, 60 points, right? So I'm gonna kind of make it a little more precise. Leader 3. So I'm gonna put 25, maybe this 25, this 25. So here we go. So here I already have 100 points right here. That's not enough because you need 250, right? That's going to be 250. I need another 50. This what I got 60 points here. So 60 plus 100 is 160. 650 plus 100, 650 plus 160 is only 810. So then you have it. That's called building blocks. So you're building the blocks. Those are all your blocks. So you built the house, let's say, but you don't have a roof. So now you need to find where to get the roof done. Okay. So how do you get the roof done? Well, fill it up. You're like, well, 10 enrollments a month, not enough. I'm going to go 20. LRPs, not enough. I'm going to go 10 LRPs. So what happens when I do 20 enrollments every month and 10 LRPs every month? Okay, I'm getting like 1, 2, 3. So 80 points plus 120. I'm literally doubled this. So instead of 60, I'm getting 120, but I still feel like I'm not there here, right? I don't have enough leaders to kind of help me to do the rank. See if somebody can go gold, see if somebody can go premier, see if you can build another elite, like whatever you need to happen there, it has to be 300 a total here. So you literally plan it on a paper. When you planned it on a paper, put it on your fridge, check it in every day, every month, whatever you need to do, check it. If that's a strategy, that's what the strategy is. So what happens then? You build this plan and you're like, whew, I got in my plan, just in my plan. I don't have it yet, but I have it on the paper because the vision is what is getting you there. When you see it right now, it's already building your future, right? Like you need to see your future now. So this is seeing your future now. So 1,000, maybe you even get like 1,050 points because you need like a team to kind of grow a little faster. So say total after you've done all that would be 1,050 out of all the strategy that you have done. I'm not going to finish that for you here, but this is the idea, right? LRPs, leaders, power of 3 points, all this kind of stuff. You can put it all together. And then, by the way, if you need an Excel, I can share an Excel with Natalie, how it's done in Excel already by categories. And then Natalie can share it with you so you can fill it up yourself as an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, I'm just putting it on the paper because not everybody's great with Excel. I just want you to understand the logic of it. So basically, okay, 1,050 you got. So what did you create, guys, here? You created a work plan for yourself for summer. Yay! So now you know what to do exactly, right? To have the founders complete it. You're like, well, you know what? In May, maybe I didn't really do well in May. Okay, now because the May is almost over, I just had this call. I kind of have a vision. But you're like, in June, I got it. I know the BOGO is coming, so maybe I can put all 3 people silver this month. Why not? It's a BOGO. And then you're like, okay, here we go. Now it's 150. By the way, and you're going to get the points for platinum if you're going for platinum, whatever. That's another thing. But basically, you are focused right now. You're not going to just like split attention like, oh, luck is going to happen to me. Something is going to happen to me. Maybe this person will grow. You're like, I need to grow you, a leader 1, a leader 2, and leader 3 to that rank. By the way, I'm highly recommended all of you to use a magic wand of incentive trip right now with all your leaders. Of course, I get it. You are growing them to silver, and do they care about your founder? I don't know, I don't know. Some people might be like enjoying vacation, summers, etc. They might be like, yeah, she's getting for founders. That's great for her. But what do I get as a silver? And some of the silvers are new, so they don't understand like the whole scenario. And yes, hope they have a vision just like us, putting a hand on the heart and really feeling the market. They might not. Okay. So use incentive trip as a driver, because if they help you to get to silver, they will get the silver rank. They will walk as a silver on stage in convention. That's cool. They will get points and calculate how many points they will get for their incentive trip. They'll get the points for incentive trip. And then you literally create them a vision how they can be also winning while you're winning, because that's not going to happen if you're just going for your founders and then you just want them to be silvers. Like, that's not working. You need people to be with you on the same page, but they also need something for them in this game.
Tatiana, I'm going to
So,
pipe in
yes.
right here because I think it's really important to, like, guys, there's a lot of ways to draw your team in, and this main principle is just helping draw your team in. If this is your project, what does it feel like? It feels like you're pushing the whole airplane, right? All by yourself. But how can you engage them? What do they care about? Do they care about the incentive trip? Do they care about summer cash for their family? And you need to add in some incentives. With one leader this morning, we just talked about, okay, we just are going to add in, you hit organic elite and you get $100 summer cash for every month that of May, June, July, and August that you hit summer cash. You could increase that by 100. You could, so it's building every month, right? So do they want to hit it in May? Yeah, because then they want to hit it in June and then July, or maybe you just start it June, July, August, and you do it for 90 days. Another gal I talked to this morning, she is like, is it bad to share a percentage of my founders with my team? And I was like, what do you think? Is that a no? I said, don't promise something that might change, but maybe you say, I'm going to take 10% of this every year, and I'm going to counsel with each of you, or we're going to take 20%, or whatever you feel inspired to do with your team. Then find ways to say, I said, say, we're going to meet with you individually and decide how we can invest this to strengthen your team and your business, something like that. Even if they, like, in a couple of years, they're not doing anything in their doTERRA business or something like that, are you protected if you have agreed to that? Yeah. Okay. So those are just some ideas of how to engage people in and do a little bit more of what Tatiana is speaking to.
No, that's amazing. This is exactly what it is. It's not about you, right? It's about in that like category, like your bigger idea. And it's about how do you motivate your team to help you to be there. And remember, right? Like, it can't be about you. As soon as it becomes about you, you're going to get stuck. It's really difficult to grow when your team is not there to support you. And then you will also feel stuck emotionally, because you would feel like, oh, I'm trying to do so much, and then they don't care, right? So find something that they care about. I actually I don't like that idea of like splitting the percentage. Like, honestly, I would find something else. Like, you can do something short term, because the team can change too. The team that got you there to founders can actually change, right? And some of you are new leaders, so some of you have the new team, so it's hard to really necessarily see if people are going to stay. Even where I was, like, when I closed some of my first ranks, I have changed like some of my biggest qualifiers for my ranks and like kind of team moving forward. So think about that as well, but find something that drives them right now. And I honestly think incentive trip is awesome, because if people are going to hit the silvers, like, they're going to get a lot of points. They're for sure going to get on the board of that, of that cruise. And convention is amazing. Like, maybe you can do convention tickets, right? Maybe you can do, I love the summer cash idea, because people who wanted to be engaged, right? So find something that drives them to be there with you, but with their own motivation. Like, what are they getting from it? Don't push your founders too hard on them, because then they would feel like they failed you, right? Because you would be like, oh my God, my team didn't help me to be there. Like, that shouldn't be an approach at all. It's there for you, but also for them to grow with you, right? So that's kind of what, basically, those are the 3 principles that I wanted to share today. And I'm just going to kind of summarize it again. Have a big vision, right? That first thing, like the giantest vision that you can get, that will drive you and drive you to do a hard work, because that's the second point that I talked about. Be an extraordinary hard worker this summer. I mean, I know you'll take vacations next summer. Yes, you can still do a weekend off or whatever, but I mean, it's gonna be a hard work. Extraordinary takes a little bit of a hard work. And by the way, it can skyrocket later for you too, because you're not just building founders right now, you're building a foundation for your sustainable business long-term as a passive income. So that's kind of, think about that. Sometimes it takes some time to build the pipes before the water flows. So you're building the pipes right now, you're building the house right now, building a construction. Natalie, you spent so much time building your house before you started enjoying it. I know. So, and then the third principle, calculate it, put it on a paper, see the plan, make yourself a work plan for every month that you feel accountable for. And if you didn't close the mark on some of the things that you wanted to be there, like when we talked about, say, one of you leaders didn't do it, or maybe the leader isn't really running for it, and you're like tracking, you're like, I need that leader to be the silver this month, but the other one is growing faster, pivot, like go to another, like rebuild the strategy, like change it, flow with it, be more kind of like work with it. So within the month, that's why I highly recommend to look at your strategy, not just in the beginning of the month, so in the end of the month, but every day. Like check out the leader and see if you need to like be more agile, you need to have a plan B, so you don't really get too upset about if something didn't happen from it in the last day of the month. Okay, so those are the three things, and I wish all of you guys a huge success. And if you have any questions, I'm here always to answer them, and I'll share that chart in Excel spreadsheet with Natalie so you can be more actionable with this and you can print it out, put in the fridge.
Thank you so much, Tatiana. So grateful for your insights. We're gonna super useful and super relevant. As you were talking, I was thinking it was on this weekend, it was Memorial Day weekend, that Andy and Jerry Jacobs were complaining that we were working on business at a barbecue. And I remember them complaining because we were getting our founders in, and we were getting there and doing the work, and they don't complain anymore, guys. That is what she's talking about. Invest now to build your pipeline so it can pay off later. Okay, Olivia, bring us some love here. What are your insights? And then we're going to open it up.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Tatiana. Oh my goodness. It is so good to be back and seeing all of your amazing smiling faces. I am coming back from a break. Don't worry, I didn't go anywhere. Okay. You see this background? It's all doTERRA. It has not changed. Neither have I. So it's so good to be back. And I just wanted to really hone in on the feeling of when I had 500 points and when I was about to reach that 1,000 points. What an exciting time it is. I can't even describe it. I wish I could go back to where you are right now to do it all over again. It was just so much energy, and you're just putting all this energy into your US team or whichever teams that want to go for US Founders 2.0. And it's a very exciting time. And I wanted to open this up with, this is a perfect transition because I think we were talking about the points in the spreadsheets, and I have this link here. So this is what I talked about in the last Founders Friday chat that I was speaking at. I have reopened my Calendly link to anyone here who wants to go for Founders 2.0. Just like a quick 30-minute just a private chat for anybody who wants to go for founders. And I am here to guide you through. I don't care which team you're on. I'm just here to help with any way that I can. I've provided the link in the chat, and in that link, there's also the link to the spreadsheet that I've used. It's color coded. It automatically calculates points. It's a nerd sheet. It was fun. It was a fun thing to make. So yeah, so really exciting stuff. Of course, number one, I always say this, and whether you have 1 point or 999 points, I think it's really important to figure out which thing you have to do next in order to reach your goal. Because even at 999 points, if you're maxed out on enrollments and LRPs, you're not just going to be enrolling a new person to get that extra 1,000, right? You might actually have to take another new person to elite, for example, to get to 1,000 points. So we have to be able to map that out. And if you click on the link, you can get to that spreadsheet. It'll very clearly show you what's going on there. Now, at 500 points, I can imagine that a lot of you are already there. You already know what rank you're hitting this month, who's hitting what rank. You already know what's going on next month. You might even have it all the way to August. And if not, I would highly suggest, like I was saying in the last call that I was on, some of you were on there, I think. So the last call that I was on, I was like, okay, everybody, it is game time. The last time I talked on one of these calls, it was April, right? Or like the beginning of May. And so now we really only have 3 whole months and a week left. What I was telling to them before was my mindset at the time when I was in your position right now was, okay, corporate said that we're going to reach all 200 spots in 18 months from the announcement. Okay. So in my brain, I was like, okay, well, if they're going to reach 200 spots by the end of 2021, then I've got to make sure that I finish everything in time. And that's why I ended up being the 8th founder, right? Because I just didn't want to be the 201st one. So I was just running for it. And even though they said that it was going to be 18 months, I was like, no, I'm going to try to do it within 9, half the time. So if some of you work the same way that I do, that is really what my mindset was at the time. It was like, okay, they said 18 months. I'm going to try to do it in 9. I ended up doing it it was May. I hit 1,000 points in February. So what is that? 7 months or something? I don't know. 8 months. So yeah, or 9 months. So that's kind of the mindset that I want to really let you all know. Like in the beginning of May, when I gave this talk or a similar talk, I said, hey, it's 4 months, pretend it's 2. Shoot for the stars, you might land on the moon. But even if you don't get it in 2, you still have 2 more months to go. So that's really what I was going for in that talk. And I'm going to say the same thing here. So number 1, know where you're going, how you're going to get there. And number 2, try to do it as quickly as possible. And sometimes when we emphasize the urgency of a situation, it's the same principle that we learn in sales, right? The urgency is part of what makes it work. So if that helps you, that's one of the things that I really think are helpful at this point in time of your journey. And if you're at 500 or above, I actually see one of my leaders here. She's going to hit 1,000 probably this or next month. And if you are at that halfway point, it's like swimming a 10-mile race and you're more than halfway through and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to finish it. I'm just going to swim. I'm at like 6 miles. I'm just going to swim back because I'm too tired. That's not what you're going to do, right? Because you only have 4 more miles to go. So changing that mindset, getting yourself pumped and ready to go, put in your 200 extraordinary percent into the next 2 months, maybe 4, maybe 3, maybe 3 months, and going for it. Because now it's not that 18-month soft deadline anymore. It's a hard deadline. Okay? August 31st. That's the time that we have. So go for it. And you might even win the incentive trip on the way, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, that's all I have.
Yay, Olivia. Okay, guys, this is the goodness. Those are great insights. And I have talked to a bunch of people that are like, I'm so tired. I don't have any energy left this week. And that's really why I put the call together, because I wanted to just be able to say, you're so close. You're so close. Remember what's in you, and you will, it's kind of like those moms. Do you remember the story where the child somehow is under the tire, right? And this mom gets that extraordinary strength and she is able to pick up the car. And I know right now you might think, oh my gosh, I can't pick up a car. I can't pick up a car. And I'm just inviting you to shift your focus to, wow, we can do miracles if we believe and if we come together. And honestly, like, I hope you feel that. Yeah, you are so close. It's in you. It totally is. So it's happening. You've been prepared for this moment. That's the other thing that I've felt, is that this doesn't happen by accident. And you may be looking around thinking, well, it's going to happen to this person. They're so much more prepared. But honestly, it's you. If you're here, can you receive that? Can you feel that? Can you pay attention to that? Right? You got to just be bringing it in. Because if part of you is going like this and another part of you is going like this, you are knocking that out, right? Christian, we talked about this a few months ago, right? It was like, man, if you want to be safe and you're like trying not to overbelieve or whatever, and you're shutting that down a little bit, you're canceling each other out, those messages. Instead, you are just choosing to receive. So let's roll with this. You've got this. Let's take your questions. What is it that you're wondering? So that we can go to your specific scenario. So this is the part, guys. I want to see a lot more in the chat. I want to hear from you a lot more. Like, there's not a lot of places where you can talk about all this, but you can talk about it right here. So I'm going to invite you to start processing a little bit, and it can be good, bad, ugly. It's all good. You are safe right here. And this can be messy, okay? Every piece of creation is messy. If you didn't notice, that's why I let you come to my house when it sucks, right? When the stairway is really messed up and when we still have concrete on the ground, because creation is messy and you better remember it, right? I don't know if all 200 spots will be filled by the deadline. But yeah, it doesn't. But it did in that moment. For me, it was hard, right? So that's kind of how we feel. Let the messy be real, and it's perfect. Okay.
Natalie,
Go, Kira.
can I start just to the people that are already founders or anyone that has ideas on this? I've got a running list of, right now it's like 23 people that I've talked to about the business. Some of them are like, oh, the timing doesn't quite feel right, but I'm open for the future. Some of them are like already really influential sharers and they just need that little tip over the edge. And there's some that are like, it's just like some slight things that need to align for them to be able to say, yes, I'm all in. And I've invited them to, they've been to experience doTERRA events, a lot of them. And there are things I'm just trying right now. That's been my sole focus, is just calling them and meeting them where they're at and saying, what does this person need? What does this person need? And connecting certain people to my upline. Or I'm just wondering if there's any ideas or anything that you suggest that has been a tipping point for getting people more collectively on board, or just, anything to help in this process of just getting them to choose in. I know some people, we already talked about, are motivated by the incentive trips, right? And some people aren't as much. And some people just feel like it's a timing thing, and I'm, allowing them to be on their path and not forcing that, and not being attached to who is and who is not saying yes, because that's also a big piece of it. But just would love any insights or feedback around that.
Can you be a little bit more specific on what are you asking?
Yes. So what are some things that you have experienced that help get people to fully commit, to fully say yes when they're close, when they've been exposed to the business, they're loving the products, they're loving the oils, and they've seen the compensation plan,
Commit
and they
to
just
business
need that
with you.
little extra.
So you
Does that make
want more leaders, right? So your goal is, that's why I was like I'm always like very goal focused. So your goal is to get more people in business this summer, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
What do I need to do in order to motivate the people who are potentially interested to do business with me this summer, right?
Mhm.
And then you said that some of our shares and some of our kind of customers are kind of there, but they are not decisive or whatever, right? And some of them, your builders already that might not be as like fast going as you want them to be. Right?
On some legs, yes. And then there's some that are just like, oh, the timing, right? And I want to allow
So three
that.
categories, three things.
Mhm.
Okay? The biggest advice that I've ever heard anywhere in my life, in my corporate world when I was a marketing director and here at doTERRA, first, invest into strongest builders. Because by the time that you spend your attention to 100 people, you can choose the 2 really good ones and create 80% of results with 20% less people. Like, right? Like 80-20 is an approach to go with this. Like pick the strongest ones that you can focus on and find the button that motivates them to be where you want them to be. So you literally need to kind of take your people and like, of course, you're a great leader. You already have a vision. And in my opinion, you just need to kind of like look through of who is the one that you want to invest your time. You don't need them. They also need you. Remember that. Because some people are like, I really need those people to work with me. I beg you, please join my business. I was like, you are an amazing builder. They need you to go and build this. So call yourself an awesome coach. I'm coaching people in private. I mean, by the way, I'm literally like, this is what I thought recently. I was like, I got paid thousands of dollars for coaching brand builders in a corporation before. And I also get paid when I take people as clients for business coaching or health coaching per hour. Like they pay me really good money. But when I get doTERRA people in my team, like they pay me nothing and they get my free advice. Like what a luck. So if you reposition on that way, that you are the source of inspiration and you're the source of knowledge and you are coaching now, the people that need your coaching will come to you, and people that you really need to be like, oh my God, please join me. Like you don't waste your time on this, because the amount of time you're going to spend on 10 weak builders and is going to be the same time that you're going to spend on 2 good ones. You might even get better results with 2 good ones that are fully committed and motivated. So just select the people yourself and then ask them, do they want your free coaching or not? This is how I would do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did mention that to one lady yesterday. I was like, hey, we're going to work, because she was bringing up her beliefs and the things that were blocking her. I said, hey, that's part of what you get when you decide to join, is that's what I'm here to work with you through, is to work with
you got to be confident though. Like you got to be confident.
Absolutely.
Like, well, you know, like you can talk something like this. And I did say that in Orlando leadership retreat. This is how sometimes I make business offers, like job offers, basically. I call them job offers on the spot. So you find a person and you just like, oh my God, this person is a diamond, like in the raw, but I need to like figure out like how to polish that person. Like they might not even know, like they might be like an overwhelmed mom that used to have a great business. Like she was like the best business builder, but 3 years on maternity leave has like ruined her self-esteem. She doesn't know where she is. She's kind of lost, but you're like, whoa, what a talented person, like a dragon. Like this is what I call, like you are basically a dragon. Like you're just sleeping right now. Okay, I need to wake you up. So I see that person, I literally on the meeting, and one of them right here on the call, hello, Diana. So I see, she came to me and I was like, I like knew she's the best business builder material that I can work on right now. I want to spend time on her. Like I do want to spend time on her, right? And I have another leader here, Katya, too. Like I know I want to spend time on her as well. Like I already know, but they're all like super busy moms with lots of kids and like busy routines. So you pick them, you interview, and this is what I said on the leadership retreat. You got to see the diamond in them. You got to let them know, because sometimes they might not even know who they are. And so if you have so many builders and sharers and all that stuff, kind of like look through, select the ones that you feel, you think are going to be great. You think that they could be the diamonds. They might not know that they are because they're a little bit lost. And you tell them that you are ready to coach them. Like, I am here to select 5 people this summer. Might be kind of, unpredictable for you. In Russia, we have this expression called, it's like snow in summer for you, like you might not expect this to happen, but I'm going to tell you, because I see that you're ordering so much. I see that you're so loyal. I see you're sharing so much. And it looks like you had a great business experience before. Maybe you had your own company, you had an Instagram create, whatever you did. I actually think that you might not even know, but you can be really successful in this business. I'm looking for 5 partners this summer to coach. And I wanted to offer you this opportunity as a first person. Like, how honored you're going to be to hear something like that as a busy mom. You would be like, oh my God, like somebody told me that for the first time in 4 years. I feel so enabled. And that will motivate them to go with you and partner with you.
Love it. Anything else, like Olivia, add on? No.
So I think that if you've gone to experience doTERRA and your team has gone to experience doTERRA, Natalie, I'm sure you would agree, that is such an influential and impactful experience. I had a leader go last week, and it was absolutely incredible. And what happened after the first experience doTERRA that I went to, I took that experience and I basically tried to replicate it with all of my teams, because if they couldn't make it to Utah, I was going to bring the experience to them. And so I took that, I brought it to Hawaii, I brought it to Miami, I brought it to Vegas, I brought it to NorCal, I brought it to wherever I was able to throw a party. I was just throwing doTERRA Ragers all over the country. Just throwing oil ragers and just replicating that experience. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and just do exactly that. I took so many notes and just made sure that I was duplicating something that works, and experience doTERRA works. I wish that there was this awesome experience of being able to meet our incredible upline teams and crossline teams. But hey, if they can't do it, at least I'll bring the content to them and just love on them. I mean, I was just giving them so many new things to try, anything to just get them on board. So that's what I did.
Love it.
Thank you.
Ari, can I build up on just Olivia's comments here? You said like put the love on them. I really like that. It made me think about another kind of strategy that you can think of. And this is what some of my team members also do right now. We're discussing this with them too. Build them. You pick them, you build them. I mean, you don't need to, you're building the founders. So you selected the person that could be that diamond in the future. Then if you have other people that could be silvers in the future, give them to the diamond in the future. Just build the teams. Because And Natalie also told me, I had a conversation with you, Natalie, back in the day when I couldn't decide where to place a person. And I was like, oh my God, what do I do? I have like so many builders that want to build with me. And then you said, if you feel like this person will do better together with that other one and they will grow faster, do this. Like, people need to benefit. You can't be very greedy. You got to give people, you got to help give clients. And you got to create teams together in one dynamic. You can move people around. If I see an opportunity to help somebody to build faster, like, I would rather do that. And I think within this 3 months, because the time is so short, and Olivia said, you got to like really super swim. I mean, Michael Phelps kind of swim right now. So help them to swim faster. Because you have so many sharers, put them all together in one super sharer, super hand, right?
I totally agree with that, right? Set everybody up for success, whatever that looks like. And those, if you make choices that will help people get into synergy and flow and momentum, right? Momentum is your friend. And whatever builds that momentum, just let go of the fear, doubt, and worry about, well, like if I do this, then I might not get that, and just get into flow and momentum. And I promise you there will be enough and to spare. If you need to listen to one book again and again and again, one that changed my mindset so much and helped me bring more and receive more was The Law of Divine Compensation. And the subtitle is Work, Money, and Miracles. And I think my trips to Australia saved my mindset because I literally listened to it like 3 times on the way down and back, you know? Maybe I wasn't conscious for part of it, but you just like have it going in the background of your mind, right? Shift that mindset and you got it. What other questions? You guys keep bringing it. We're coming up on the hour, but Tatiana, Olivia, will you stick tight with us?
Yeah, that's
We're
fine.
here for you. We can do this.
Hey, Natalie, I have a question.
Hi, Rachel.
So I am getting pretty close to hitting, I have 951 points. And so super close. And I have someone that is going to be hitting silver this month. And she's 1,000 points away from it. And I can get in orders. I have people like, I've already told people like, hey, some of my customers, I'm needing some extra orders this month. I put out incentive. So my question is, I was told by my account manager I have to be super careful because I don't want to get audited, right? So you guys that have already made it, do I place these orders with my card under people's account, or do I use the customer's card information and place the orders where I need them?
Tatiana, Olivia.
Customer orders basically would be the best bet for you if you have a good relationships with people, but it needs to go into a specific customer. It has to be a real order. You have to have a proof it's a real order that goes to a real person. Like it can't be something that's stuck in your garage. Honestly, yeah. I would say that's, and it depends on how much you have. I would totally consult with your account manager just in case in terms of the amounts, because there's some certain amount of money that you can buy in. Okay. And Natalie, you probably have like even a better understanding, because I mean, I personally like didn't buy in my doTERRA journey, but I know that some people do. And then there is a requirement of how much you can buy in. And there's also, I highly recommend to talk to an account manager just in case, because in the end of the day, like if you're so close, you're 950, like it's not going to be closed in May. Okay. Like you're fine to even close it in June. All right. Like if there are some things that are not aligned, you have to make it right though. Like it has to be clean. Mm-hmm. So it has to be within the order amounts in the right way, and also consult it with an account manager.
Okay.
You don't want to be audited. You don't want to be
audited. Would it be best to try to get these customers of mine just to go ahead and sign up and just plunge, because they've never wanted to sign up. They just want to buy from me like on BOGOs and things like that. So
if your customers do want to sign up, of course, because you're going to get a point for every enrollment. I mean,
well, I know. I'd love to get them signed up, but they don't really want to sign up. They just want to purchase.
Oh, here we go. This is a great advice, by the way. So you just bring up a really good point. Guys, if you're going for founders, like open up to your audience and say, I am going for a big goal. Like if you guys are ready to help me, like people are so willing to help, honestly. Like I did this back in the day when I was closing my last month. I needed to build an elite. I needed some orders. I needed some like enrollments. And I literally put in my social media, I'm like, I am going for founders. Help me people right now. People are so actually eager to help you if you open up. So if you explain them, but do the right thing, like do the right thing. Like if that their orders has to be real people's orders placed in the right way. And if you use your card, it has to be a specific limit. And I'm not an expert on it. Natalie, you can shine more light on here. I would highly suggest to talk to account manager.
I put the limits in the chat. And yes, I agree, Megan, with what you're saying. Like, so Rachel, how can you just say, well, I have this special for anyone that signs up as a customer, you know, and it's free. You just fill out this little form, you know, you make it super easy, or the link or whatever. And if people are resistant, then you're holding a gathering and they're signing it by hand, right? If that's easier, whatever way you just drop those barriers, right? And that's what I saw, like Nicole Almeida, when what she was doing was she was presenting at, you know, lunch and learns, and she's got a QR code with her specific code up there, and she's just teaching one thing at a time. She's teaching MetaPower, then she's got the MetaPower QR code up, and that is the way you do it. And then when you showed her your order, she's giving you the special right there, and they have got to close. So you can shift expectations. It's about you deciding where you want things to fall, and then creating those boundaries around it.
Okay. Well, I've already got people that have given me orders that they want, of things that they want. I've just got to see if I can get them signed up instead.
Yeah, and I would just say, oh, I have this other free book for you, if you do your own account.
I actually think, Natalie, don't you get, like, if you have them paid you, not cash, but like if they paid you like Venmo or Zelle that you can prove,
Yeah.
you can just sign them yourself into an enrollment.
Yep.
If you give, like, if an audit happens and you give an audit, like, here, they send me Zelle, like, this is the person that like doesn't do digital at all, like,
You'll be clear.
have proof of it. It won't be within your limits of buying. Like, you're not buying something to keep in your house. You're buying something for a customer that has a struggle with digital technology and doesn't like to click buttons. So then they gave you the money, but you have to have a proof in a digital form of a proof or a check, not like cash that's given to you.
Okay.
Love it. Okay, keep rolling with the questions. That was super good. Way to go, Rachel. It's happening.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Rachel, are your points that you're lacking just in the enrollments or LRPs, or the points that you're lacking in the category of rank advance or personal enrolled rank advance? The 49 you need.
So I can have them anywhere. I've already met all my minimums.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
So I have the leader that I'm working with, she's going to hit Premier for her third time, and then she's going to hit Silver. So I'm at 950 right now. So that's going to give me another 35, plus she's signing up somebody, so that's going to be 36 points. So I'll be close there, but I'm only lacking 1,000 PV for her hitting Silver. And so just, you know, over the next few days, wanting to get her there.
1,000 PV is not a lot, by the way. If you split it in
Oh, I
days,
know.
like split it in days, like
Yeah.
200 every day.
Mhm.
That's
Exactly.
hard to
This awesome promotion makes it even better.
Hey, so I know that there's some of you that have limits, like you haven't hit what you need on personal enrollments, and then others still need on team enrollments. Let's take any other questions, and then maybe we'll split into 2 breakout rooms, so that if you need help on team ideas, we'll go on team. If you need help on personal enrollments, we'll go there. Okay. So bring any other general questions, and then we'll split it out that way. Come on, guys. I know you got something. What if you're at 600 points right now, 500, 600? Every situation is unique, right? So the answers are not going to be inside any of us, but the answers are going to be inside of you on how to get there. You actually have that inside of you. So any of you that's thinking, oh, there's just no way, like, I promise you there's a way. And that answer is within you. And there are so many people around, like Olivia gave her link, and we're here right now to just support you in breaking that down. throw anything else in the chat or speak it out.
I was late because I had a one-on-one with a lady, so I didn't get to be on here till like 5:30, 5. Can I watch the first part of it somewhere?
You're
Okay.
so great. We'll send it out on the same text link,
Thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
You bet. Um, anything else? Would you rather talk about all of that together? Do you need both team advancements and personal enrollments? Guys, tell me in the chat what you need all together.
Personal team rank advancements. Personal team rank advancements all together. Yeah. This is the biggest one, the personal team rank advancements.
Yep. Okay,
Vivi,
so
hi. Can I ask a general question, not even related to founders, but that might help others? Do you know if there are any promos expecting in July and August? Those are the two hardest months of the year, I feel like, to rank up or to even close your ranks that you've been hitting. Because we have a 200 PV promo right now. It sounds like we're expecting a BOGO in June, but then July and August, that's when we really have to concentrate on getting our points. And then after, like we get a bunch of enrollments in June, what do we do in July and August if there is nothing?
well, first of all, you're already going to be thinking about what am I doing with LRPs in July, right? But doTERRA is also, they know where those months are. Have you noticed how they always bring a little bit of help so that things are more equal for us or even, and that's what they're working on. I think you're going to be really happy. That's all I can say.
That sounds promising.
Okay.
So will we get a presidential diamond? We have more visibility. I was like, how can I get this? Natalie. I was
Yep.
like, all
We
excited.
had a good press call yesterday and they've got good stuff coming down the pipe.
That's amazing. And I'm
Okay.
sure doTERRA has a mindset right now of helping builders to the finish line in August. And we all know that the July is like a lull month, like it's a little slower. It's like April or July. But weren't you guys like surprised that this April wasn't as bad as like sometimes it was before? I am sure that doTERRA has a heart for us to complete the founders game. doTERRA is motivated to have more of us in this group to help doTERRA to build bigger. One thing though, I don't do actually, and I think this is like a big thing that I should do, is the refer a friend program. Like, don't forget about that one, because I know some people, and we had a call lately, like leadership call, I think it was like just 3 weeks ago. And there were amazing presentations of how people are working on refer a friend program. They say, the refer a friend program is a great program for those who actually work it. And I was like, I don't work it. I was like, I'm so horrible on refer a friend. Honestly, like I had like a few people that did it accidentally, but like, I don't tell people much about it. Like, and I started like being more conscious about it. So do you guys know that, everybody probably heard this expression, like, where you put your attention, that's where your energy flows, right? Like that's kind of what happens. Like I didn't put attention to refer a friend program. So I have 0 volume there, like 20 PV or something. So what happens if I put attention on it? Well, I'll have thousands PV there. So pick your battles where you can make the volume. If you have a lot of customers, somebody was asking a question, like, I have a lot of shares, like, this is amazing, like, make them more refer a friend program available, accessible. And then Natalie, I liked what you said. If you kind of plan it a BOGO in June, and say that you would enroll like 20 people or 15 people, whatever your goal is, 30 people, put like a big goal, 30 people enrollment, like then here's your people to work on LRP the next month. It's perfect, right? So you can create some sort of probably an extra incentive for them, get like a book, get a little case or whatever you want to do, but like create some sort of an incentive for it. There are multiple ideas. You can now it's like a beach summer ready kind of time. Like make like a meta power challenge again. Like great. Like that's another instrument to do. Meta power challenge, because everybody wants to look amazing this summer. Like the summer is the best time actually to eat healthy vegetables. So here you go. Like here you have it. Do a detox program if it works for you. Like just find, when I worked again in corporate, I was a marketing director and we called it a marketing vehicles. Find like those vehicles that will serve you in this specific month. So when I planned my year back in the day, I knew like December and November are going to be hot, going to be holiday, I'm going to have giant volumes coming in. I better just like even find time to like make myself at peace, because it's going to be so busy. I'll have like too many things to work on. I might not even have time to do this all. But then there would be like April. April is kind of like slow in every single business, honestly. It's not just doTERRA. April, there's this July, everybody's going on vacation. June is kind of strange. Like you know what we did in the marketing team back at my company? We created ideas. We thought, okay, if this is in a month that I'm expecting to be slow, create an idea for that month to be bigger. Natalie, here you go. You want to share?
Whatever it is, you decide and you start to focus their mind and their energy that way. This is what we did with one team, that they're, you know, she's going for founders and some of her people are going for founders. It was like, oh, hey, doTERRA's doing the 200 and we know where the pebble is in that. And how about we do just a quick reference and stickers at 100 PV orders, so they make sure people are getting to the 100 PV. And then we have the big fat book for when they get to 300. Are we showing this to everyone? No, you know, we just have like, oh, hey, at a class, we'll show them the top part so they can see it all together, right? I'm not going to talk about doTERRA's one separate or anything like that, but then we found that they were closing more LRPs if they had a little something, you know, like even the ones that were just starting out and feeling a little hesitant about asking to LRP, if they knew that they got a keychain with 10 mini bottles and 3 of them filled for their month 1 LRP, that felt really, you know, helpful for them, and a sample bag of all these samples for their month 2. So those are just some quick little things that you can do to get more clear. I'll throw this into the chat in case you want to chop it up or use parts.
Right.
Let's see. What else, guys? I think you all know what to do now, right?
There is a question, which oils are best to promote for summer, or would supplements be better to promote? So I would say that it depends on your audience. Like you need to know like who you're working with. And it might be, it all depends. Like if you're working with moms of and they have young children, like this is my audience, it's probably not going to be even supplements, because supplements in summer, like everybody in summer already eating berries and like fruit, and like they don't care about supplements so much, but the sunscreens are going to be hot. Like I'm going to go big on sunscreen with kids, especially in a stick, and then facial moisturizer and like the body lotion. And then what do you need to add for free shipping? Like, you know, you just add a deep blue, or you add a lavender because the mosquito bites, the citronella, like TerraShield and things like that. So you can go, it's based on audience. If you're working with people who are, you know, just maybe, you know, maybe it's like people that don't have kids. It's all about beauty. It's all about like beach body. Like if you live in Miami Beach, it's like completely different audience versus like Utah hikers, right? Like You need to know your niche and audience and then build for them. So it's not universal. And by the way, this is why when you work on doTERRA promotions, like you just don't take up one promotion and just like try to reach to everybody. You always try to find an angle that will fit to a person, how you communicate it, right? Like Kapaiba, you can communicate one way to an elderly community talking about inflammation and pain. And then you can talk Kapaiba, that's what I call it, a Friday night glass of wine to moms. Like you don't need a wine anymore. You just need a Kapaiba drop and you will be fine. Like they're laughing about it, but it gets the message to younger moms that's stressed out all the time. So it's catered to your niche.
Totally. So Ashley's asking, has anyone dialed in lunch and learns in a way that's been really effective? If so, can you share some tips on the approach? I think Nicole Almeida is the one that has dialed that in the most. And I think because she assumes the sale, she uses a QR code at the end and just has a special to inform that sale, you know, just like make sure that it's happening. I think that's been a game changer for her. And again, getting a topic that's working for the people that you're teaching it to, you're connecting with, right? Anyone have more details on Lunch and Learns than that? I think that way there are a lot of booths and everything like that that happens this summer. One of the things I like to work with is, okay, remember the strategic calendar? I don't know how many of you, Kyle and Kirsten Kirschbaum came up with something like that a long, long time ago. We took it into a calendar and we said, what are the normal things that are happening at the times of the year? Kind of like Tatiana was just talking about, like, what do people want right now? What are they drawn to? Like, start to think like that. What is it that you care about? I mean, how many moms was I talking to today and their kids are coming in and like interrupting them, right? Like that's what moms need answers for right now, is what's something fun that you can do with your kids that takes care of your needs and their needs, you know? Like how do you connect to those things and bring solutions to them? And I think that's where the more we can dial in there and meet needs, like we're solutions providers. You bring solutions to the table and it works. Those are the people that I see. Like there are people that enroll, you know, 10 people at a booth or 50 people at a booth because they have something that connects to the people's needs. But if you're going to stay in your like little doTERRA box and it has to operate like this, like it's too hard for people to connect to it, right? So meet them where they're at, figure out how to do that, and you can set things up for success. I wanted to drop, let's see, this idea in the chat was from Lillian Wenger. She shared this yesterday in the presidential call about just little things that they're doing to help people move right now in the summer and keep movement. And that would even prepare them to be able to be at convention. So not a ton of money, right? But just all of these little things start adding up and they're giving it on a gift card when they get to conventions. So those people have money to spend there, right? So that's one concept. They're just getting creative, right? Let's talk a little bit more about team. What if you don't have the advancements that you need right now? Strategies for that, help for that, in converting that need and meeting that need and matching that up with your builders. Tatiana, Olivia, hop in. Anybody else? Like, I'm just going to shout out some of the stuff that I see and then I'll let you guys add in. But one of the key things is sometimes we're like, hey, that silver should be motivated to get to silver in the timeline that I am, you know, and And I found if we go to the organic elite and we incentivize the organic elite, kind of like I was talking in the beginning, maybe it's just $100, but it's summer cash, and it's $100 if you hit it in June, it's $200 if you hit it organic elite in July, and it's $300 if you hit it in August, because August might be a little bit trickier, right? But if they knew that they got that summer cash and they're going to get that plus the fast starts, do you spend that there and invest in your team there so that you're getting real volume and real people moving and real people sharing? What else?
I think Power of Three is a magical tool, right? So if you are able to help your builders to build 250, like, I'm not talking about the first level builders, I'm talking about second and the third level builders. If you focus on that, it automatically builds volume for you. Like, people will have something to do. I think actually, now I'm going to step back a little bit. People are lost in what they need to do. When they come to doTERRA and you just like so confident and you just like have a few years of experience or even 6 months of experience of doing it, you like assume they know what to do. And you have this new builders coming to you and then they're like, I'm like so excited to go get your coaching. Like we talked about, like you talk about yourself as a coach. I'm so excited to do your coaching. And then like, and then what do I do? What do I do now? Like, what do I do now? And like, you're like, well, you know, you need like, what do they do? Do you have a plan to like launch a builder, like to tell them what to do? Give them what you need them to do in order to reach their goals, which are tangible. And I think Power of Three is a beautiful navigator, because you are literally telling them like, you need to enroll 5 people. So next month we'll have 5 people under you, or maybe I'll put a few more under you. So it's just gonna be like, oh my God, she's helping me. She's giving me some people too. You'll have like maybe 6 people in the end of the month. Let's kind of plan it under you. Next month, we can have 3 of them on a loyalty program. So then next month, you're already making the 50. So then if we start looking for builders just like you, we can help them to build it, et cetera, et cetera. Have a plan for them to do a Power of Three as an end goal. And then that will require enrollments, and that will require orders and wellness consultations, like a lot of work to be done that build Power of Three. It's a beautiful, beautiful tool. So I feel actually it's underutilized at doTERRA. And actually what I have heard today, as I'm thinking right now, you guys are focused like, oh, how can I get the volume? How can I get the new enrollments? How can I get the orders like to place? Like, how can I get those new builders to go work for me so they can bring you me new volume? How many people do you have under you already? How can we sell to a client a third and a fourth time? That's a giant money maker right there, like giant. It's more than actually enrollments that you're thinking. Like somebody told me, oh, I need 1,000 PV orders close silver today, right? So to get the 50 points, like how many people in that silver you already have that you can literally motivate them to order by the end of the month? Like all you need is only 10 people of 100 orders to do the 1,000 PV, only 10 people under that silver that need to order. So how about you offer them 20 bucks cash back if they all order $100 this month? Like do that, right? Do a CRM, do a text messages. Think about that giant amount of people under you that you didn't sell second or third or fourth time that needs a connection. So that's another way to think about it, running a special promo for the people that actually already there. And they're more loyal, by the way, right? Because they already enrolled with you and they already know the oils. I have heard some stats recently that majority of people will run out of 2 or 3 oils in 3 or 4 months at doTERRA. So if you go to your database under you and look at the people who didn't order for the last 3 or 4 months, those are people to reach out to say hello to. Be like, hey, how's your business go? Like, how's your experience going with essential oils? Have you used them? How are you using them? Which one are you using the most? They probably will need a lemon refill, breathe refill, on guard refill, etc. And you're like, oh, by the way, you know what? This month I'm running this promo. If you order 100 PV, I'm going to give you 20 cash back. Boom, done, right? Like this is like the way to think about it. Or people who are within 60 days where you actually get the cash for their order, because so you make that
Fast start bonus.
You make the fast start bonus, but it's not becoming negative for you. It's equals out, right? Because you get paid and so you give free money back kind of thing. Like if they don't order, you don't even make the money. So in the end of the day, you just giving free money basically away. So if you reach out to all the people who are still within the 60 days and just tell them like, hey, I'm running a promotion for only people who just enrolled with me within the last 2 months. If you are thinking of ordering more stuff, I'm actually giving $20 cash. I'll Zelle you, PayPal, or Venmo. And then that's it. Here is your volume.
Can you guys start feeling all the creative ways, right? That you can think out of the box and do something a little bit differently, right? Let's see.
By the way, 23 of you are still staying on that call. That's extraordinary. You're staying extra. See, I told you, majority of people, like they don't do what a lot of people do. So keep doing that, what you just did here on the call.
You guys, I just put this also in there. Tatiana was talking about, using the refer a friend. This is one way, if this is how you can grow your enrollments, you help your customers enroll people, right? So feel free, this is a template you can save as and then use it to do your own thing. You could just use the images from it, or you could send out a postcard. I send out a postcard because I find that people read it, and then you could make something on the other side that helps you be able to follow up or connect with them too. Okay, so we had both needs. We had other ideas on helping the personal enrolled rank advancements. One of the things that comes up for me is like revisiting people. So I went back to some people that haven't told me that they wanted to build 7 years ago or 4 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever. Like maybe it's older people. I went back to like 2 of my sons. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to do this right now? Because this could be a really good time. So it's just a great time to revisit people, because even, taking somebody from elite to premier to silver, like that's not crazy. You know how to do that, and you can repeat that, right? And you can help people do that. If you think about, I remember learning from all the Hawaiians in the beginning, and right, what were they doing? They treated it like a business, and they just went from 0 to platinum, and they hit platinum for 3 or 4 months. And that was their drill. That's what they did. And they used On Guard toothpaste that's what they gave with 100 PV order. And they gave something else, like they gave a deodorant for the first LRP, was the balanced deodorant or something like that. It was something so simple, but it was enough to get that first order complete, and they knew they were getting their toothpaste right then, and they really wanted it. And then they knew they had to get their first LRP and their second LRP. So incentivize those things right now, just with some small, clear incentive that helps people move. And connect to people where they are. Connect to people at your family reunions. Connect to people at a booth in your neighborhood, in your area, in all the areas of your leaders and your builders. Like that's where you can go. We found incredible people at $50 booths, at $200 booths. Like you decide, then you get to know the people, you offer, you connect with them in a way that's gonna serve their needs.
Natalie, can I ask you a question about the booth? Because we are about to, one of my leaders is about to do this, and Katya, you're on the call, so I think it's going to be super helpful for you. So there is a booth in a kind of like a small business convention in a small town, right? So have you ever done anything like that when you don't do a customer, but participate in the small business kind of little environment? And what do you focus on? How do you connect with people? What do you have on your table? Like any advice you can give in order to enroll or connect to more people in that specific environment.
I'll
How
let
can you
Olivia
add
weigh
info?
in too, but what we always use a diffuser that draws people. You know, I would totally use the little puff, whatever the heck it's called, right? That little guy that I love. So I would totally get that on a table, maybe on both ends. We always do a giveaway so that we're getting people's details. And then we're asking on the back of that form. There used to be something in the Empowered Success Library, it's called drawing form, and it would ask for their details on the front, and on the back it's like, I'm interested in women's healthcare, in metabolic health, in babies and children, da da da. So then we could create classes based on what people were interested in, you know, to draw in more of those people. And even if they're business owners, I would say, okay, why are the business owners coming there? Are they coming there for networking? Are they coming there? What are their needs? Like, okay, they're business owners. They want to develop their business. They want to have more money. They might need more energy to do their business. So I'd be like, you know, hey, do you want to have a more fruitful life or more abundant or whatever, right? And so maybe you have wild orange and you tell stories about how people use wild orange when they're trying to sell a house, and they puff it through with that diffuser, and it helps the close rate go up, right? And it helps in salons for the girls to get along. And so these diffusers are powerful investments for you. And look, here's the oil to support that, right? Same thing with energy. I would take MetaPower to the table and be like, how can you up your game? You want to up your game in life and business and have the energy to go where you want to go in your life and business. Here are these boxes, and I have them right there. So for booths, I think it's really important to have stuff as much as you can available. Buy extra, get some from your upline, you know, buy extra and then track your receipts of what you're selling, and then you can show them, right? I bought 10 of those kits and I sold 9 of them at the booth, and here's all my Venmo.
Oh,
Like-
you're talking just as an example. Okay.
MetaPower, you know, I'm saying like, oh, hey, maybe you have the MetaPower kits themselves. Maybe you have MetaPower kits and you also have the collagen separate.
Makes sense.
But those are some of our tricks, and get oils on
Do you
people.
do you go around that like area just to make the connections too? So then you have like 2 people, and then
Yeah.
one is just staying in the booth and
A
the
lot
other
of
is,
times
hey,
people
how's
will
it going?
find other builders from other business people that are out there trying to promote and trying to do stuff. It's the other booths. They would trade with the other booths to get their stuff and then bring them in on a business conversation.
Okay. Okay. We were thinking of doing like a business card for one of our builders there that talks about like a professional, like not doTERRA, like professional business, essential oil business growth, right? So it's business growth with essential oils for you kind of thing. So then
Yeah.
when you go to booths to communicate with other like massage therapists, etc., you can be like, hey, I'm a professional business growth coach that coaches you how to make more money by using essential oil in your business. Like that is what we were kind of looking into to do as a hello operation, but looks like, hi, Andy, looks like we can do both, right? Like you said, that you can talk about their needs as the business owners, as people, and their needs as the business owners to grow money.
Right.
And I love the energy, Katya, idea. And somebody texted in the chat here, do the water with peppermint for focus and then lemon. I actually love when I came, Natalie, to your house, you offered green mandarin in the water. And I tried it the first time in my life in your house, and I was like blown away. It just feels fancy, like green mandarin. What is this? I want to try it. Like I feel it's like makes it. Lemon is just like so basic, like lemon water, or whatever. But like green mandarin is like more like bougie,
Fancy,
like
yeah.
a bougie water. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Guys, also the other thing we would do is we would have one person that we're like, oh, hey, there's a massage therapist or whatever. And we're like, would you like some aroma touch on your shoulders? You know? And so somebody would be putting oil on their shoulders and just like giving them a 2-minute, like rub it in, get the oil going. If you have enough people to do that. And if we got somebody to actually sit down and get a massage, then we could give them a mini class right there.
On the hands, you can do like aroma touch on hands.
Do hands or necks. Like the women, like the neck thing, they were like down for the count, and you just got somebody for 15 minutes. Just keep massaging. So those are just a few little ideas, right?
I love it because we literally have an event. Like Katya is here, like listening. I can see you, Katya. If you have any questions, ask too. We have an event in a week, so that's why we're like, and we just got in like 3 days ago.
So great. And there are all kinds of opportunities all around you right now that other people might not be tapping into. I mean, I live in Utah, right? The Mecca, with so many wellness advocates all around me. And I remember going to places last year and not seeing one doTERRA booth. And I was like, wow, this is just not harvested, right? We're not like, there's so many people that are super comfortable and they're getting paid an awesome check, and they're not, you know, amazing like you, right? That's going above and beyond. So go above and beyond.
So
Natalie,
here's the
did you go-
question then.
sorry.
If there are other booths with doTERRA products, how do you stand out? And like, you obviously need to have a conversation with them too, just to see where they at and where, you know, like how do you keep customers to yourself and not the other booth with doTERRA?
I don't worry too much about competition. Like if the place is going to allow 2 different booths, then it's like, okay, game on. What are we going to bring to the table? How are we going to bring the most solutions and bring more people and interact with the people and bring our great energy and right? So I wouldn't give it more energy than that. And I would just show up to serve, and things will flow from that, right? If they are like, hey, we already have a doTERRA booth, you can't do that, then, and you really feel like you're supposed to do it, then you create spray bottles. You're like, hey, this is the cool off spray bottle, you know, and this is the throat spray, and this is the and you intro people to doTERRA in that way. Or maybe they just do oils, and so you're like bringing the collagen, you're bringing PB Assist Junior, you know, that type of thing. The other thing I would say is tap into, you know, the target market. If you guys, I make people go back to that target your message spread in the BBG so often. Have all of the people you're partnering with, have your builders go back to that. Who's their niche? What problems do they want to solve? Who do they want to serve? And when you do that, then you're like, oh, hey, there could be this booth. Or what if we just create an afternoon in the park where the kids are playing and we serve this community, right? Like you can create your own things. And there's endless possibilities of what you can create, right? You're a limitless creator, truly. So whether you need to create 500 points and lots of flow, or 50 points, or you need to figure out how to get 300 team advancement points because you haven't hit that in the US, you can find that, you can create that. It's just a matter of opening up your mind. Love
Natalie,
that.
did you sell to businesses at all?
Yeah.
B2B with the 35 discount?
Oh, this is a great thing to remember. So Rachel Carter was doing this in November and December. She was taking, she was ready to hit diamond, I think, or blue diamond. No, she was going to blue diamond, but some of her people had pretty big gaps and they didn't have money to buy in, and there was over buy-in, but there was some natural disasters that people in their area were interested in. Plus, some people were interested in charitable. So they started calling businesses in their area and saying, hey, there's this need. Would you like to donate to that need? I'll send you the charitable contribution sheet and da da da. And they said, you know, would you like to donate $100? Would you like to donate $250, $500, or $1,000? You know, and they're just giving them this option. They've made a flyer about it. In one area, it was some tragedy that had gone down by them, right? But then another area, they just connected to another Healing Hands. They were like connecting to another Healing Hands project and showing how the humanitarian kits could serve there, right? So it's basically buying humanitarian kits that have PV, but they're getting a charitable contribution for it. So it's like filling the gaps with humanitarian aid kits. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Okay, that's
Yeah.
do you have more like information about what sort of kits they offered, and is there a video or Zoom recorded about
Yes.
that? That's interesting.
Let me see what I've got still from her, if I have any handouts or anything like that.
And then
how can-
somebody's asking a question, how can we use this without a natural disaster?
So for example, like I got a message last week, and it was our team in India, in northern India, and the government right now, like the Indian government, was persecuting and hurting the Christians and breaking down churches and homes and all kinds of things, right? And so here we have this team there, and guess what I could do? I'm like, Missy, you know, we need humanitarian aid kits sent to northern India that used to be like part of Nepal or da da da, to these Christians that crazy, right? So, yeah, this is awesome. So that's how we used it. Was we said, hey, we're going to tell them to earmark it for this, right? We're going to earmark it for this. So you find something that you think would be meaningful for the person that you're calling or your community. Ashley, that's amazing. New mom kits for pregnancy centers. Yeah.
New markets.
Donate that, you know, so instead of
So you just call
versus
businesses,
donate
you
that
call
much.
businesses locally and say that there is a need for new moms to have those kits. But how do you, I don't understand how it's connected with PV orders. Like if you get, say, $500 to donate, are they allowing you to spend it on those kits, or how does that work?
Yeah, so basically, like they're so this is like Rosie dropped in this is the 72-hour emergency kit, relief hygiene kit, right? It's 25 wholesale, it's 25, isn't it 25 PV, same exact PV. So let's just make sure, right? Yeah, exact same PV, Heidi's saying. And these kits can be sent wherever you want them sent, right? So if they want to donate $500, then we're going to buy 20 of these kits and make them a customer and put it in under them as a customer. And they're going to get the kit itself will stay in doTERRA, and then I'm going to send an email to tell doTERRA where to send those kits, and they're going to receive a charitable contribution for them. So Rosie, tell us the scenario. You know this. So Rachel collected the payment info plus their name and email from people, and she and her leaders entered into the order, so the PV went where they needed to be. So they
Yeah,
didn't.
exactly. There were some people that were already customers on their team that were in places where the volume was needed, and so that they could self do that themselves, right? But if you have someone who is just not even a part of your team and they just want to make that donation because they feel called to the cause, then that's where if they're like, yes, we want to donate $1,000. So there's a level of trust there then if they're giving you their card number, just like any of you that were building in 2011 to 2014 or something, like we would write it on a paper, right? And we'd type it in ourselves. So that was how they got the PV to be where they needed it to be. And then their donation receipt goes to their email because they've gotten the email and it's their card that it runs on. So that's all great with compliance for doTERRA. It's not buy-in. You're selling the humanitarian kits. And she did do a call on it. I don't know if that was for you, Natalie, if it was a call Laura had her on.
I
So
can't
it is
remember
recorded
either,
somewhere.
and I can't see the image to
Natalie?
share. Yeah.
I can tell you what our team has been doing with the hygiene kits.
Yeah,
We've
go.
probably done about 8,000 or 9,000 in hygiene kits, and that's exactly what we use it for. You know, I mean, we do it naturally, but to fill in the gaps. So you can actually, for any business or an individual, you can create a retail bag. And you can drop in even an individual kit, or they sell them 4 at a time for $100, or you can do 20 for $500. So if we have someone that wants to do like $1,000 donation, we'll just drop 2 500 packages like in the retail bag, send them the link, just like any kind of a gift bag. And then the business will put in their business name in the name instead of a first last name, fill it all out. And then they can do all of it themselves. They can have their own information and it processes. The kits aren't sent directly to anybody, and the kits are kept by Healing Hands to be distributed wherever they need to be distributed. And actually, us as wellness advocates, we can actually, if we're going to visit a place or we personally know of a
That's
place that has a
amazing.
need, yeah, they personally know a place that has a need, you can actually contact Healing Hands and they'll give you those kits that you can take wherever you want to go deliver them yourself. So, and as far as the guest back goes, businesses or individuals are just allowing them to build for Healing Hands so that Healing Hands can distribute them the way they needed. And then it's end of business year, they'll go ahead and send out the charitable form on
Because
the
they
email.
want to write off the taxes.
Right. So it comes end of year. So I've had a business that's donated like 2 or 3 times over the last 4 or 5 months.
Is it, do you guys think that that could be still a big idea right now, like in summer, because it's not in the end of
For
the year?
sure. There's literally no limit. I mean, I've known people that have done 8,000 in volume on hygiene kits.
1
in a
month?
Mhm.
Oh, that's
To
amazing.
help fill in the team, because if you get the right size business, or actually even an average business, for a business who's wanting charitable donations, for them to do $500 is not a lot. 1,000. If you have a larger business, sometimes they'll throw down 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000 if it's for a good cause. Healing Hands, if you just send an email to Healing Hands Foundation, they can give you some information. Like I'll send an email at the beginning of the month and say, where have the hygiene kits gone in the last 30 days? And they're like, send me back a quick email. And they're just letting me know, just so I have up-to-date information that might be useful. Not that that's
Do you have a
required.
script? Do you have a script? Like, what do you say to them when you call? Because we never done it before. So that would be like, I'm like in it. Like, that sounds amazing. For me as a business owner, like people just want to write offs in the end of the year too. They don't want to overpay, and like where I can
Exactly.
spend 4,000 like quick and easy, and then I
Yeah.
can make my money back. Like, that's amazing.
So we don't actually have a script. I think I just are more natural, right? So if I'm talking to the person, in fact, one of my leaders, Marla's on the phone. She's sold kits too. We've all sold kind of quite a few. The beauty of and she might have something, maybe she has a script. I don't know. I don't script, but the beauty with the hygiene kits is it's 25 retail, 25 wholesale, and 25 PV across the board. So it can be for a wholesale customer, a retail bag, it doesn't matter.
That's amazing.
And I mean, I'm about doing good. I do a lot with humanitarian work. And so I love that. And I like that being a part of what we do, because we like to support that and to build that initiative with people. So that's another way to just spread doTERRA in general and the good that we're doing, the company as a whole.
No, it works really well. I used to work with Duracell, and we did the disaster relief trucks that we sent to all those like cities, right, with batteries
Yeah.
and like the power plugs and stuff. Like it was so well received, and I mean, it's ridiculous. I feel like ignorant, but not even knowing we had those kids. Like I am so blessed to have the
Yeah.
opportunity to be on this call today with you.
Healing Hands will be so grateful because they just try to collect, as we purchase the kits and we sell the kits, that builds up their volume. So when the disasters come, they can do their work. And I see the question at the bottom, how do you put it under the right person? We actually, so if it's me and I'm talking to different businesses, I've looked in my back office, I see where some gaps are. I will go to like message that person, like whoever's I'm looking at, and I'll have them create the link for me.
So they enroll that person under that,
Well,
or
I actually have them create the link for me if I'm doing it. If I'm pitching a business, I'm like, oh, I want to put it here. I'll say, hey, I need you to create me a retail bag for this amount, put this many hygiene kits in it, send me the link. And so I'm sharing that link. It's not confusing for anyone. I just
then you call it retail link, so not wholesale. Sorry.
The volume going under that elite, so it's building up that elite volume, and then that's in the right place, but she's not having to have any of those other conversations.
No. And it's good because as a leader, right, I'm teaching them, right? I'm like, so I'm going to be talking this business. I go, they want 1,000 hygiene kits. I need you to create a link. And then I might walk them through it. Here's a guest bag. Like, let's put the link together. And then they copy the link, they send it to me, and then I use that and I close and I finish doing what I'm doing. But it's an opportunity for me to teach them how to create that link and how to do it. And then it just directly puts the volume where it needs to go.
But it's a retail link, so they don't have to do a wholesale customer account, none of that.
Nope.
So it becomes that little black little
bag.
person in the structure, right? That the black little order thing, and
Yeah,
it just
exactly. It's just a retail bag.
That's amazing. I'm like so excited. You
Yeah,
don't even know how excited I am.
Missy Larson will love you if you start spreading this around.
This is amazing. And we only have one kit though, like only one option.
Yeah.
No, you've got 3. So you can just like anything, you can add more in, but they have it grouped with an individual, like a 1, 4, or 20. But I sometimes do 2 $500. I put in the $500 and I click number 2 of them for 1,000 and send the link over. It's like any other product.
Yeah. Because
you're creating a retail bag. It's the same thing.
So on the approach to this, like Heidi, wouldn't you say like, okay, if you've got companies that need to do charitable contributions, maybe they're doing that. So this is the 20 pack, right? So you're seeing this times 20. They would open this up, they would see 2, they check out, and it's done.
Yeah,
right?
Totally done.
So that being said, like so it could be that somebody really wants to hear about what doTERRA Healing Hands is doing and great. But some people don't care
exactly
about that. They just want to, okay, I can do good. Do you want to do 500 good or 1,000 good or 2,500 good? Right? Let's talk. Yeah. And then you're just sending the link, and it doesn't have to be a lot more than that. Like you're giving those relief bags. If you want to send somebody a video, send somebody a video, but I would say keep it simple. And then if the next tier of people are like, Heidi, I've seen people that are cheering you guys on in your businesses that have businesses. So do they want to help you in your business? Absolutely. And they're like, oh, well, I already bought a kit, but this is one way I could get a charitable contribution and help Heidi or help Marla to be successful in reaching founders, right? Yeah. So can you see how then that's probably your best tier is those people that care about you. Yeah. That would either give you referrals or do charitable contributions. Rosie.
Think about like your insurance agents or your, I don't know, just the people that you know and that you work with, your dentist, anybody like that. People like to do good. And I think that's why it's not scripted, because it's, hey, I've worked with this great company. They're doing great things around the world. And we're helping to raise donations for the relief that they're doing. I think when you keep things personal and natural and simple, it's just less weird. there's just something inside of us that comes up like, oh, I'm going to have to analyze this and think hard when it feels too scripted. So you just, especially business people, right? They're going to think about things a little bit. But if you're just relaxed about it and straightforward and to the point, that honors their time. And if it resonates, they'll do it.
The confused mind says no. So keep it super simple. Rosie.
Unmute.
Hang on.
I see Tatiana's like wheels turning.
I know.
Oh, there we go.
I'm like all excited.
Sorry, friends.
I wrote
Sorry,
your name.
I was
like,
driving.
You're good. We can hear you now. Go.
So I love this. Thank you for sharing. I hadn't even thought about the retail aspect, and I'm doing the booth in a few days, so I'm going to put this into place. And one question I had is, do they generate that retail commission for the person who is actually the one generating the link?
Yes. Yes.
It does. So if I have an elite, then the benefit to them also is that they'll get retail commission.
It's a retail bag, whether it's a hygiene kit or it's an oil, it's a retail bag. So it functions the same way for you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. That was my question.
Awesome. So that's even higher commission than normal.
Oh, that's amazing. Somebody texted about the new moms kind of kit. Like, does that exist, or that's something like what's there? Like, or it's something that we create and kind of advertise?
Ashley, were you just saying that you create that to meet a need, right?
That's something we create. Can you say more about it, Ashley? I have a doula on the call. Katya is a doula.
Awesome.
Like ideas here.
Yeah, so I have just seen other people do it from other companies. There was a lady from 31 that was just she would go live about it and talk about these kits that she was creating in these cute little bags. And so she would get washcloths and just different things that would bless a new mama. But I think we obviously have some amazing products that would be good for new moms. So if we're talking about that and also including some other things, just self-care things, nail polish, or just different things to kind of fill out that kit. I think it could be something pretty great.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think you watch for those needs, right? You're the detective. You're watching for needs. How can you meet needs? How can you be a solutions provider? That's when the value starts flowing to you. That's when the points flow. That's when the revenue flows, the income flows, right? It all follows that. Okay, any other last thoughts? We have gone the distance, girls, boys, everyone. We have gone the distance. Extraordinary. I would just say, quick reminder, enrollments this month and next month, putting energy, if you need enrollment points, put it there May and June, right? Especially during that BOGO time, you're gonna be able to get a lot of enrollments with that BOGO box and help out there. But if you'll do that, then you can maximize for your LRP points in July and August, right? So instead of waiting to the end and being like, I've got to enroll 50 people in August, enroll less people now and make sure you're getting the LRP and it's solid, right? Thank you all. Thanks for bringing it. Wow, I love what happens when we stick around for a minute. It's like good stuff comes through.
Natalie, thank you so much for creating this space for us to collaborate and connect. I feel like this is actually shouldn't be just a one-off thing.
It shouldn't. You guys know, if you need a shot in the arm, you've got Olivia's link. She's there to help. And I do a monthly call. Let me give those details real quick. As soon as you're diamond, we do a diamond call the first Wednesday of the month. And that's awesome because we mastermind there. Here's our events link. If you're not tapping into Experience doTERRA, guys, we put on a world-class event every month. And this is for your new prospects. If you want somebody to grow, invest, and get them out here, I'm telling you, it is conversion. We just had Christina Bedell. She had a prospect that was almost about to sign up in another company. She brought them to experience doTERRA. They just sent a message today. They're coming to doTERRA, right? So if it's somebody brand new, a prospect, or if it's somebody that like just hasn't lit up yet or needs a little fire, right? Send them to catch the fire. And you don't have to come. You can just invest in them coming. And we have the rank retreats alongside of that, right? So you may think, I don't have time for that right now. Well, it could be the mindset shift that is huge for you that could be a part of it, right? Or send your people, you know? So those things are happening. We've got the global rank retreat, the Monday and Tuesday pre-convention. Where in the world? Okay, sorry, I was showing you the wrong link. So Andy does the success coaching call Wednesday mornings at 8:30 with Tiffany. Those are good mindset calls. This is my breakthrough mentoring call. It's every second Monday at 1 p.m. So you text this number to get reminders, okay? So you got lots and lots of support. The link for Experience doTERRA in the, so you text mentoring to that one to get in my monthly call. India Builders, I've got a WhatsApp group going for India Builders. So Tatiana, send me her details and I'll add Elena. Yeah, I'm open. Would you guys be open to do this once a month through August? Would that help? Let's just see. I'm wondering if we could just do that. Do this call. Do it for the one thing mentoring. Give me 1 second. Okay. So here's our next 2 calls. Okay. Oh, our next 3 calls. Here's the dates and the time. I'm going to share my screen so you can just see them all if that helps. But we are going on June 12th, 1 p.m., July 10th, 1 p.m., and August 14th, 1 p.m. Okay. So those specific calls, I'm just going to dedicate to founders, and we'll have a mastermind like this. And if we need to go a little bit long, we'll go long because we're here for the distance, right? So if you will send that June 12th, July 10th, and August 14th at 1 p.m. Okay. And if you'll just text mentoring, that word, to the number above in the chat that I just dropped in there, it's on the support page of doTERRA.com. You'll get an auto reminder. Okay. It'll be at the same link every time. Okay. And maybe Tatiana and Olivia would be nice enough to join us and weigh in on when it works for them. So we'll get some experienced folk too. Love you. So grateful for you. You're doing amazing, amazing things. Okay. Trust the process. Relax into it. The runners that get tight and anxious at the end, they're the ones that freeze up, right? This is not the time to do that. This is the time to relax, lean in. This is you. You were meant for this. Let's go. Okay.
Thank you. Love you so much. Thank you so much, guys.